I'm going to quickly take you through how to fill the essay tracker. So I have already shared the fellow portfolios underscore Delhi folder. So go to the fellow portfolios underscore Delhi folder and you will actually see different subfolders with names of program managers on it. Go to the folder of your program manager. So let's say your program manager is Surbi. So you go to Surbi's folder and you will actually see different school team names, subfolders with different school team names. Go to your specific school team. So let's say your school team is Ayanagar SKV. So I go to Ayanagar SKV. Um, Inside the subfolder, you will actually see three spreadsheets: grade 6, grade 7, and grade 8, which are nothing but the fellow portfolio spreadsheet which you recently filled with the RC dipstick data. You will also see an additional spreadsheet with your school team name, which is nothing but the essay tracker that has been added to your folder. So what we have done this time is create a separate school team essay tracker, and we have already uploaded them in all the school team subfolders. So all you need to do is open the school team tracker and start filling them. So I'm going to quickly take you through how to fill the school team essay tracker. So there are four sections in the school team essay tracker. The sections are mentioned on the top of the Excel sheet. Section 1 captures the basic details of the school team, the fellows, the students, and other relevant information that is required, right? So you will actually see that section 1 has been auto-populated. Um, Now, what we need to do is go to section 2, where you need to start filling the information. So we're going to start with legal student name. Now, you might be wondering why we have another column, legal student name, where the student names have already been populated, right? Now, the reason being that historically, we have observed that with every new fellow joining the classroom and filling the tracker, we have observed discrepancies in student names. And this has really disabled us to sort of capture the historical information at a student level and really map the growth over years, right? Which is the reason why we want to make sure that we standardize the student name, so that going forward we don't have any discrepancies arising in the student name and we're able to capture growth at a student level. Yeah. So under the legal student name, what I would love for you to do is actually get your school register or a classroom register and start copying the names of your student exactly the way how it is mentioned in the classroom or school register, or use the Aadhaar card of the student to fill the student name, right? So let's do a sample for the first two students. So let's do a sample for Durga and Sonia. So let's say Durga's official name as per her Aadhaar card is Durga Prasad, right? And let's say Sonia's official name as per the Aadhaar card or school register is Sonia Singh. Okay, now we are going to go to student gender and drop down the gender. Um, Most of the columns are drop down have drop down options, so do not enter anything, just drop down the options. So Nishtha and Pratibha, in case if you are teaching in a private school or elementary and if this option does not um, sort of bother you, just leave it and move to the next um, column, which is type of school. So we are going to fill all girls school. um, then the next few columns are the details of the fellows teaching specific subjects. So let's say English in grade 6 is taught by Ankita, Math is taught by Chitra. Science is also taught by Chitra. History is taught by Desri. Geography is taught by Nidhi. And SPL is also taught by Nidhi. And Hindi is not taught by anyone, so not taught by Teach for India Fellow. And third language, if any, not taught by Teach for India Fellow. Okay, now we are going to go to the essay marks, where you are essentially entering the percentage of marks scored by students in the essay. Here, what you are not going to enter is the actual marks, but you are going to enter the percentage of marks scored by students in specific subjects. For example, you can actually see an example has been mentioned here. For example, if a student scores 15 out of 30, which means that a student has scored 50%. So you enter 50% and not 15, right? If a student has scored 30 out of 30 in maths, so then you enter 100%, right? If a student has scored 27 in science, which means you enter 90%. Similarly, social science, let's say the student scores 35%, and in Hindi, let's say the student scores 75%, and in the third language, if there is any, the student scores 60%. Now this is optional. The third language is optional. If there is a third language that the student is studying, please feel free to enter. This will give you like a broader information of the student apart from the subjects that you're teaching. Section 3 is actually auto-populated. And section 4, if you have any comments, you can actually enter the comments here about the students. So let's say, um, the comment that I'm mentioning is that need to focus on social studies, especially history. Okay, this is a qualitative comment that you're mentioned, and this is purely optional for each student if required. Okay, so this is how you fill the essay tracker. So now we are done with grade 6, right? So now after you're done with grade 6 for all the students, you go to the next grade, which is grade 7, and similarly start entering the legal name, the student gender, Nishta, Pratibha, and then the marks, right? After you're done with grade 7, go to grade 8, and if there is grade 9, then of course grade 9, right? Now what's really simple here is that you don't need to enter um, the data of the RC, or you don't need to enter other school related information because that has already been auto populated. Um, and you don't need separate files, you don't need to upload them or anything of that sort. You can continuously enter the information as a school team. Once you're done, you can just close the sheet, and you're done with the essay tracker analysis, essay tracker